Oh, I'm finishing eating a sandwich here. But welcome back. Been a hot minute. Let me get the game open here. Your ears might get destroyed here for a second, just so you know. Hello, hello. Let me switch over. It is a ham and Swiss cheese sandwich that I made myself. Excuse me. Okay, one sec. Beauty. Cool it with the music. Sound effects is fine. Text speed a bit higher. Okay, so yeah, my apologies for not streaming, but the finals week approaching, so quite busy. Let me open up my little theory document here. I don't really know how much there is to cover. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Okay. So, it's all note dog shit, just took a bunch of notes. Nothing, very important. But, I didn't really have a lot of conclusions to go with here, because we didn't really learn a whole lot, obviously, because it's an answer arc, not a question arc. We more so got answers to a theory, which basically ended up being right. Let me finish this. I'll take like 1 minute, and I'll elaborate a little bit on theory stuff. Excuse me. Sorry, coughing in your ear. Honestly, I have no clue if you're supposed to be doing what I'm doing. I'm just being a little bit of a pig. I'm sure you can play the games fine. Like, realistically, I didn't need to write most of these notes. It probably helped at some point, but, yeah, you probably don't have to. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so let's get into basically what we learned. We honestly didn't learn much because we kind of actually predicted that chapter that we just played. The Shion and Mion swap theory was right. The motive was definitely a little bit not correct, but end result the same. And yeah, definitely with the games being as long as they are, it definitely helps. So I think Yumi Neko is even longer than this game. So, excuse me. That's something to keep note of, I guess. But I guess what we did learn, to some level, the Sonozakis, at least the main house, doesn't really have much to do with the killings, at least as far as we know. Could have been lying, but I don't think Mion was in much of a position to lie, and it wouldn't really make much sense for her to lie. And same goes for Oreo. Obviously, she didn't really get to speak because she got fucking... But, it is what it is. Rika's syringe that she had was the suicide drug. We thought that after Chapter 2. So Rika is definitely getting like a big sussy going on. And yeah, if Mion doesn't get a happy ending, this game's dog water. So what we still need to know, there's only really, I should add some more stuff here. Maybe we'll add a little bit, but I don't think there's a whole lot to add. Okay, because there's really not, there's probably a lot of like little questions that need to be answered, but for the most part, there's only really a few big questions that need to be answered that will kind of unravel the whole story. So we still need to know Rika's deeper involvement, because she has some deeper involvement that's not going on. Keiichi kind of hinted that maybe Rika was actually like the assassin for the curse group, whatever the real curse group is, at least the ones that are behind actually killing people, that she might have been the assassin because she's kind of unassuming. You wouldn't really expect that, she'd kill her. So we still haven't got any further info on Tomotaki and Takano's deaths, even though they're the only consistent thing across every timeline and chapter. The other thing, Rina's true nature. I think at one point she kind of talks to Shion like they're sort of the same. I think Rina definitely still has something going on with her. She's too... I don't know how to put it. She was such an obvious, like, sore thumb in the first chapter, and then she just fucking disappeared. And she kind of hasn't really been a character, with the exception of, like, a few odd tidbits here and there that maybe would tip you off to her. But, something is weird. And yeah, okay, I'll wait until the end of Higurashi before I download it. So this is one thing that maybe we wouldn't have normally found out. And this is going to be part of my bigger theory, which we're going to find out. I kind of already threw this theory out. So hopefully without spending too much time retreading ground we've already covered, we predicted that Shion was going to be the killer in this chapter. That pretty much came true. We noticed early on in the game that there's kind of some discrepancy that every single chapter, the game kept telling us that, or the characters in the game kept telling us, like, yo, Keiichi, you're acting so much like Satoshi, right? But Satoshi and Keiichi's events in each chapter are different. And my understanding of how this works, my understanding of how the mystery of this game works, is the first 4 years of every killing and everything prior is the same. And it's only in 1983, in the 5th year where Keiichi shows up, where events start to diverge. And the more info that we learn about the time prior will help us elucidate what's happening in the future, because all the events that happen before the 5th year are constant. We have the same starting conditions in each chapter. Because of that, I can't rule out the possibility that Shion is still guilty to some degree in the other timelines. If I had to put a percentage on it, I think we already covered this. Obviously, she's like almost 100% guilty in Chapter 2. We already know that my theory of there being multiple killers or multiple bad actors at play has to be true, because Shion didn't kill Tomotaki and Takano in Chapter 2. But they did still turn up dead, and in the same nature that they had in every other chapter. So we have conflicting, not necessarily conflicting, but we have groups that are going together. And no, I don't think you need to play Higurashi. I think Yumi Neko is its own standalone thing. But yeah, you get in the whispers with him. But my thinking is that in Chapter 3, the one piece of info that we learned, which Shion kind of acted on, was that Oyashiro's curse tends to, Oyashiro's curse might not be as clear-cut as people think, and the theory that Satoko put out in Chapter 3, I'm sorry, I have to clear my throat. In Chapter 3, Satoko brings up a good point, that it feels like whoever is the target of the curse seems to not actually be the person that dies. It's the people around the person who's cursed. So Satoko says in chapter 3, she thinks that when she went into the ritual storehouse and broke the statue of Oyashiro, that she got cursed, and that ever since that day, it's kind of been fated that all her loved ones would die around her, and she'd be the last one left. And I was thinking about this from Shion's perspective, that I think there is a decent possibility that Shion is active in chapter 3. Obviously, we know she's active in chapter 2 because we just played through it. Chapter 1 is where the anomaly starts to happen. Because in chapter 3, I think about it this way, okay? The murders in chapter 2, we can think about them as Shion taking out her anger on Mion. Or, I guess, acting out the curse on Mion by killing everybody around Mion that she loves, and then killing her last, right? Now, to be fair, we know that from Shion's perspective, it was for selfish reasons, but that happened to be the way that it played out. And in a roundabout way, I think that chapter 3 could be the same kind of idea, where this time, instead of picking Mion as the target of her ire, she picks Satoko. And instead, in chapter 3, she starts killing people that are around Satoko. Now, this one is not as clear-cut, especially considering the fact that Mion and Rina and a lot of the people in chapter 3 only die in the disaster. Now, maybe Shion has some part in that, I don't know. But I think it's very possible. The biggest question mark will be, why was Rika disemboweled and killed, right? Because she was the person she was one of the only people, to my knowledge, who was actually killed in town before anything happened in chapter 3. There was some weird, suicides going on in town. I think Irie killed himself, too, if I recall. So there's some weird shit going on with that. I think, if I had to put money on it, I think that Shion is probably active in chapter 3. Again, we know there's multiple people active in every chapter, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything. She's only one piece of the puzzle. She played her largest part in chapter 2. I think she probably has something to do with chapter 3. Not sure to what level. The other thing, before, I don't want to go too tangential on this, but the one thing that I also wonder is in chapter 3, I recall when Keiichi calls Mion and asks her to take care of Satoko for Watanagashi. That's the same conversation that we just saw in chapter 5 when Shion was talking to Satoshi, when he was saying the same thing. Now, the funny thing is about that, we know for a certain fact, because we played as Shion, that it wasn't actually Mion on the end of the phone, similar to how it wasn't, or there was the whole double switch that happened in chapter 2 with, we thought that it was Mion pretending to be Shion, but it was Shion all along, blah, blah, blah. But the one thing that's of note, Mion did not have that conversation with Satoshi. She had that conversation, or she didn't actually have any conversation. The conversation about taking care of Satoko was with Shion. And in chapter 3, Keiichi calls Mion, at least to my knowledge, I think it's Mion. It could be Shion because she says, you're having the same phone call conversation as me that I had with Satoshi down to the same words. That makes me think that at that time when Keiichi called Shion, which also makes me think that Shion is active in chapter 3. I can get more into it later on if that comes to surface, but I don't want to waste too much time on that. The bigger question is going to be what happens in chapter 1. Chapter 1 is very questionable. But let's get back to my little list here so I don't waste too much time. I do think Rina's very suspicious. Chapter 1 especially. Something is up with her for sure. Now this is the big question, and now that I've finally explained my point, I think Satoshi is still alive. The game seems to insinuate that he's dead pretty hard. In chapter 5, they did kind of open the possibility that Satoshi might not actually be dead. The only, I guess, contradiction, which maybe we'll find out more, maybe Satoshi had an accomplice that we didn't know, but we did find out eventually that somebody knew about the crime scene with his aunt, details that nobody else should have known, and that person died in custody. That person could have been another dummy person sent by the Sonozakis, but again, to our knowledge, the Sonozakis had nothing to do with, either Satoshi's disappearance or killing. And I'll get into more about why I think Satoshi might be alive in a minute when I get later on. This is what I was just talking about. You know, she might have something to do. So here, I know I kind of put it twice here. We don't really have an explanation for Takano and Tomatake's death. My understanding, or my thinking, is I think Takano killed Tomatake, but her death is still the one that's in question. That Chapter 3 interaction with Takano definitely made it seem like she had Tomatake in the trunk of her car, which is potentially possible. Then the question would be, why does she also have possession of the suicide drug if that is how he was killed? If Rika also had it when she tried to kill Shion in Chapter 5, also Chapter 2 timeline. It ended up being used on her instead. So there's definitely... Finding out the nature of where the suicide drug comes from is definitely going to be really important. But I think Takano probably killed Tomatake, or at least definitely had a role in it. They did say that Tomatake was... It seemed like he was killed in like a group of people. So there could be more to it than that. But the big thing, we still haven't found out an explanation for Takano's doppelganger. And it's the one that bothers me the most, because obviously no spoils, but I'm hoping that there's just something that I've missed that explains it. I'm going to be really disappointed if they introduce a third variable in the form of another character that explains the missing or the stuff that doesn't really make sense, that doesn't line up. But I'm assuming it's going to be info that I already have. My question is, overall, which I guess we'll find out, I think that if Satoshi is alive, and if he is active, if he comes back to Hinamizawa, and maybe he has like a hate boner and wants to start fucking people up, I think it's very possible that in Chapter 3, when Keiichi was killing Teppei, that's another question entirely, which maybe I'll put down here. I'll get into that after this. But my bigger question is, I need to find out who Takano's doppelganger is. I think it's very possible that Satoshi could have been serving as Keiichi's doppelganger with a little bit of makeup, maybe new hairdo and hair dye, contacts, whatever it might be. It'd be pretty elaborate, but I could see that making sense because the game has made it pretty clear for its whole duration that Satoshi and Keiichi kind of have similar personalities, so they could probably get away as acting as the other if they knew a little bit about them. However, it still doesn't answer the Takano question about who her body double would be if that autopsy from Chapter 2 is to be trusted, that she had been dead for 24 hours, and that she had been dead on the day, I think it was of the Watanagashi setup, because she died the night, just past midnight on Watanagashi, and she'd been dead for 24 hours, so the day prior at 3 a.m. So the night of the setup. But obviously we know we saw her in that chapter. We saw her again from Shion's perspective. So there's something questionable that's going on with Takano, and I think Takano is probably... let's say we have to put a percentage on people who are guilty. Obviously, I had a very high percentage on Shion, and I think I can even go up here and look at my my odds that I had here. So I had Shion at an 11. I have Takano at a 10 because this guy, she's suspicious as fuck. I don't know what it is about her. The game is making her intentionally suspicious. I did also, Irie as well. He just strikes me as kind of a weirdo. Maybe he has something going on. The whole Chapter 1 sequence of the director and doctor memes is basically the only thing I'm going off with him. I don't want to waste too much more time, but basically, Takano is kind of going to be the linchpin of my theory, and once we find out more info about Tomatake and Takano's death, I'm sure that the whole story will probably click into place after that. Otherwise, the only other thing, I guess, would be also, how is Teppei dead but then not? The only thing I can think is, maybe in Chapter 3, Keiichi was being stalked and being followed, and in the time that he left, went home, realized that he forgot his lantern or whatever the explanation was for why he had to go back, that maybe somebody had tampered and moved the body at that point, if he was being watched. My biggest thing with the game right now is the Chapter 2 events seem to make sense. Like, I could make it make sense. The problem is the Chapter 1 and the Chapter 3 events are so, like, kind of drastically different from each other, and you get a totally different vibe playing through each chapter. In Chapter 1, you're like, holy fuck, Mion and Rina are evil. But now, when I look back, it's like, well, maybe Mion isn't. And I guess the question would be, like, if Mion isn't, why was she acting so weird in Chapter 1? And why was Rina acting, like, with kind of such a murderous intent in Chapter 1? But then in every other chapter, even when she gets kind of weird, she's still kind of chill. She doesn't really, like, do anything. She doesn't act on anything. So I'm definitely really confused in that regard. But I don't really want to do more conjecture because it honestly doesn't really mean anything. Because we're not going to find out unless we play. Hopefully something will come to me as we continue. But let's hide this and let's get started. Ideally, we finish this in 3 streams is the play. I'm hoping to have this done. My first exam is on Friday of next week. I think it's the 16th. I might be wrong. It might be the 19th. It might be the Monday. I honestly don't remember. But I think it's the 16th. My goal is to hopefully have the game done before the 16th, which means we might be having a lot of streams over the next, like, week. But I digress. Let us start, and let us see if we can figure anything out. I guess the most interesting, the first fall. So I'm guessing this is Chapter 1. How's your reasoning towards the truth coming along? The next tragedy is ready for you. Enjoy. This is a humorous story with a tragic struggle at the end. The difficulty is 0. You can just enjoy the clowns milling about. So I'm guessing this is going to be from the first chapter. So this is good because I think the first chapter is the most confusing of all of the chapters. And this will probably, hopefully, crack everything open. We will see, though. I guess the question as well would be, it seemed like Keiichi also killed himself with suicide drug in what's it called? In Chapter 1 at the end. So I don't know. We're gonna find out. Arc includes, yeah. Just highlight the correct answers. The first time I would try harder to avoid the inevitable tragedy. The second time I would be disgusted with the inevitable tragedy. The third time my disgust would turn into anguish. The 7th time I'd be laughing by then. This is a work of fiction. So we're at the trash dump. Before we even start, the question is going to be what character we actually play in this chapter. Are we going to get a return to Keiichi, or are we going to be playing as someone else? Let's find out, because we have played as someone else different for the last 2 chapters. The chorus of the Higurashi had replaced that of the cicadas. Their cries came from a distance, echoed loudly, and then faded away. They sounded so weak and fragile. Rina's voice was just like the cries of the Higurashi. She'd say something, but the words would quickly fade away. She sounded so fragile that it made me worry she might vanish into thin air along with her words. But nobody was pressuring her to continue. Mion dusted off the hood of an abandoned car and sat down on it as if to show how relaxed she was. She actually did look very relaxed, as if she had came here to enjoy the cool breeze of the evening or something. Satoko followed Mion's example and sat down as well. She didn't look nearly as relaxed, however. I thought about following suit, but it felt rude to look away from Rina, even for the short time it would take to look for a place to sit down, so I decided to remain standing. Rika didn't sit down either. Seems like we're playing as Keiichi, unless I'm playing as Satoshi in this chapter. But she wasn't looking at Rina. Everybody else was looking at Rina, but Rika was looking at the red sky. Rika's expression was hard to describe. She looked pale and blank at the same time, as if all of her emotions were gone. Rina wore the same kind of expression. She kept trying to say something, but it seemed like the words were stuck in her throat. She noticed Rika was looking at the sky, so she decided to look that way as well. Mion did the same. So did I. Satoko looked that way too. And with that, there was silence. It was like we were in a concert hall, filled with the chorus of the Higurashi. A concert hall with the highest roof in the world. A refreshingly cool breeze tickled our sweaty bodies. I can almost make myself believe we came here to enjoy the breeze and the sunset. can only wish that was what we came here for. The shadows of the birds flying across the sky soured the feeling of our quiet concert. They reminded us that time hadn't stopped. Nobody wanted to pressure Rena. We didn't want time to pressure her either. We wanted to keep the cool red sky as long as we could, so Rena could calm down and talk. Right then I heard a sound, and it brought us all back to reality. The hood Mion was sitting on had made a noise when she moved to cross her legs. I don't know whether Mion made the noise on purpose or not, but it reminded us that time had been passing by. The noise took our attention away from the sky and back to the ground. Such a tasteless noise seemed to have urged Rena to speak. Rena heaved a small sigh, nodded as if she understood something, and looked at us like she always did. There's one thing I want to say before anything else. She was probably saying it to everybody, but since I'm standing in the middle, with her looking at me, I nodded to her to represent our agreement. I think I did the right thing. Her voice wasn't hoarse anymore. She sounded just like she always did. I wonder how much we're allowed to struggle in order to be happy. It sounded like a question, but nobody answered. That's why I really like Mi's Club. The one rule is to do whatever it takes to win, right? I think that's wonderful. If we were only allowed to do nice things, and if there was a limit to how much we could struggle, people who aren't happy wouldn't be able to seize happiness at all. Misfortunes are like a chain reaction, I think. Once they begin, they're very, very hard to escape. In order to escape the chain of misfortunes, you need more than just luck or even assistance. I think you need to struggle as hard as you possibly can. You need to do your best. That's how you seize true happiness. That's what I believe. Rena stopped talking, looked up, heaved a sigh, and opened her mouth again. But I'm not saying that I expect you to accept what I did. I know that was a very bad thing to do. Yeah, it is. This is the updated console version sprites. I think if you search up, I forget what it's called, it's like the 7th mod expansion or something. If you search that up for Higurashi, it should pop up. It's pretty easy to install. You just do an installer and it pretty much does everything for you. I know that was a very bad thing to do. Didn't you all look stunned a while ago? That tells me everything. I've never seen her smile so self-derisively like this. That smile looked unbelievably painful. I could really feel how huge the distance between us was. There's nothing physical there, but I felt as if she's talking to us through iron bars or a chain link fence. That's how great the distance between us was. But it's okay. There's nothing we can do about it. That's just how things are in this world. If I were you, I'd probably look just as stunned. And I'd say something irresponsible and merciless. She probably said that to hit back at us. We're just putting on a mask of sympathy, enjoying the spectacle of a clown on a stage. That's why she said that. She probably expected us to say something in return, but none of us knew what to say. Rena looked disappointed for a moment, then turned and clambered on top of an abandoned car. Then she spread her arms out and gave a little twirl, letting her skirt billow up before she grabbed both ends and gave us a graceful curtsy. Well then, are you ready for a story? This is the story of how Rena Ryugu did her best. There was no curtain or spotlight. She was atop an abandoned car amidst the trash piles, a stage specially made for her. We tried not to miss a word of what she was about to say. We believed that was the least we could do to not hurt her feelings. Okay. Sort of an odd intro. I feel like I'm playing as Satoshi, just the way that this is being set up. Let's say it's a winter month, like December right now. What would you do if all of a sudden you had a week of hot and humid days with crying cicadas? Would you still wear your coat and scarf? Absolutely not, right? Even though it's still June, it's already summer to us, since we've been having hot days for so long. So it's totally okay to do this kind of club activity in June. At my school, everybody usually does what they want in PE class, but today would be an exception. All my classmates were gathered in the schoolyard. Mion looked over everybody gathered there, then spoke up loudly. Hey everybody, you ready? Oh my god, it destroyed my ears. Yeah! They all raised their water guns in their hands. It's okay to use water guns in June because it's been so hot and humid. All my classmates were joining in, so it's going to be a big water gun battle. I'm so excited. Is it so exciting to do a club activity with everyone from class? Yeah, it's going to be so much fun to play outside with everybody together. It's going to be fun for them, but we have to be serious because we can't lose. So I am playing as Keiichi. Okay. Now this is where things get weird right off the bat, right? Because I don't remember that first conversation ever fucking happening. So, we're back as Keiichi after 2 chapters. Well, yeah. For us club members, every game comes with a risk. Exactly. I look forward to the punishment our more careless members are going to suffer. Good luck, everyone. I'm so pumped. Everybody listen up. Did you all check your guns? Are your tanks full? Jesus Christ. We're all ready, Maybara. Okay, one sec. I actually do need to change something. Very quickly. I need to turn down my client-side sound so I don't go fucking deaf. Okay, there we go. We're very good at gun battles. Tomita and his friends play with water guns a lot, so they might have an advantage. We're different men today. Tomita and Okamura smiled confidently, holding their guns in a practiced manner. Their skills must give them confidence. They even look different. As we all know, Mion is going to be a tough opponent, but I think Satoko and Rika could be too. What about you, Rina? You can move fast, but you could end up being their target as well, so be careful. You've been losing a lot of games lately and taking most of the punishments. Oh, it's just that the recent games weren't my specialty. But Keiichi, I think you've been losing a lot these days too, haven't you? You have no idea how miserable I was when I had to go home wearing a bra and my mom saw me in it right before I was about to take it off. Okay, dude, I'm so confused. This doesn't feel like the same timeline at all. Timeline. I'm having a stroke. My last punishment was as terrible as yours. I'm ruined for marriage after having to do that. Stoko laughed at us loudly while we were shuddering at the memory of the cruel punishments we suffered in the past. Ha ha ho! You've been low on both luck and spirit. I know why you've been losing so frequently. That's because, you see, you're both losers. Damn, chill. She's right. Once you get used to losing, you just can't stop. Also, I'm gonna throw a timeout real quick. Because this is very unrelated. But how about that motherfucking Part 6 announcement for JoJo, baby? Hell yeah, I've been waiting! Continue. After all those losses, your fighting spirit fades away. When you can't believe in yourself, nothing goes right, even if you're doing the same thing as everyone else. You! Haven't you realized that Rina and I took those punishments on purpose because we wanted to spare you that fate? You should be thanking us, not calling us losers. Oh, is that so? I'm very sorry for not thanking you enough then. Ugh, Satoko, you just added oil to the flames of my rage. I'll make you regret what you just said. That's a spirit, Kay. This old man hopes you can at least last long enough to serve as entertainment. Rina, you too. You'd be embarrassed if you were the first one to get shot. But I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. I too think Rina's going down first. Prepare yourself for a bad time. No, me, Satoko, you're so mean. Rina and Keiichi, go for it. Yay. Mion and Satoko laughed at us as loud as they could, then moved on to tease their next target. Left alone, all I could do was stomp on the floor in anger. Damn it! I'm gonna win. I can't let them laugh at me like that again. I agree. Feels bad to have them laugh at us like that. It's not only how it feels, it's also how they step on my pride. Damn it! Like me said, it might be true that you can't stop losing once you get used to it. That's why we have to win today, no matter what, so that we can get even. Rina's eyes look different. She's usually a funny and weird person. Well, that's not really much of a compliment. But I know she has the determination to do what she needs to. When Rina looks like this, she can be a tough opponent. Today, I'll follow the first club rule. I'm going to do everything I can to win. Oh, you sound determined. You played Undertale. You sound cool, but also as if you've been going easy on them before. Rina smiled. Or maybe you could have called it a wicked grin. She was serious. She was serious about what she said. I could tell that from her expression alone. Among all the club members, Rena is easily the most sensible one. The rule of our club is that we can do anything in order to win, but she's the only one who has moral qualms in doing so. That's why we rarely have a hard time against her, except for when she snaps. It's rare to hear her say that she won't go easy. Damn it, when you grin like that, you leave me no choice. I have to be super serious about this too. I always have to fight with all I have in our club, but I believe there's a time when I have to get super serious about it. I think today is the time. Indeed. Yes! We pounded our fists together. Usually, when we really don't want to lose the game, one asks the other to work together, but Rena didn't ask this time, which meant she was going to try to defeat everybody by herself. No, not try. She was going to do it by herself. Rena looked really cool at that moment, but I wasn't scared. If she was seriously going to do it, I'd have to be serious and do it too. My fighting spirit had been dented after many losses, but it had begun to burn hot once more. You look good too, Keiichi. You're even scaring me a little. You look like you're gonna defeat everybody all by yourself. I know that's what you're gonna do too. That means we're gonna fight against each other at the very end. We would if we defeated everybody else. She gets really close. She's like, I'm gonna cut your fucking head off. I hope you'll be the last one I have to fight against. Yeah, me too. We pounded our fists together again. Does everybody remember the rules? You have to call it out when you get hit. Once you're hit, you can't shoot anyone. Even if you did, it wouldn't count. Mion, I'd like to confirm the definition of being hit one last time. When somebody shoots you with a water gun, you're hit. I'll break it down more for you, Kay. You're only hit when it's water from a water gun. In other words, you're not hit when somebody splashes you with a bucket of water. Only direct shots from a water gun count. I'm sure you're not so scared of Satoko's trap attacks now, huh? I'll still have many kinds of traps ready for you. Rena, you'll be my first target. I don't think so. You're not strong enough to take me down yet. What did you say? Oh ho. I can't believe Rena gives Satoko tit for tat. This is gonna be fun. Don't you think so, Kay? I don't think so. At least not for you, because all you'll be doing is choosing which of us is gonna shoot you first. Keiichi seems determined to win. Mion seemed to sense the fighting spirit in me and Rena. I could tell that she's as serious as we are, just from the way she looks. Alright, I like your spirit. Are you all ready to start? Everybody get to your positions. The ones you drew by lot earlier. Everybody had to draw lots to pick a place to start the game from. It wouldn't be fun if everybody was close together at the beginning of the game. By the way, my starting position was behind the school building. I went back there and I saw a fucking dead body. When I drew the starting position, I thought about hiding until there were only a few people left like I did in our last game of tag. But a defensive tactic like that wasn't interesting to me anymore. I hadn't been this excited in a long time. My legs were shaking with the excitement. It was my first time experiencing that kind of feeling. I could hear Mion's countdown from some distance away. 3, 2, 1. Go! Oh! A single shot of a toy pistol echoed. With that sound, I was already running around the building. There had to be some underclassmen nearby. I'd usually assume that somebody else would take care of them, but this time was different. Kay is freaking out. They stood frozen in fear as I ran towards them, screaming at the top of my voice. Jesus Christ, he's executing people. What the fuck? Having a fucking mass murder at this school. Sorry, guys. You just got unlucky with where you started. I felt bad for them because they lost the game so quickly, so I rubbed their heads to cheer them up, and then took their water guns. Yes, that was the key factor in this game. You can't put very much water in a water gun. With 10 people around you in a gun battle, the water would be gone in a minute. I abandoned the gun I used to shoot them, held one of their guns in each hand, and scoped out the schoolyard. Dude, this reminds me of when I was younger. I had a fucking super soaker, and it had 2 tanks on it. It had a tank up top, and it had a big tank on the bottom. And the big tank on the bottom was for when you would normally use it. But it had a second button that when you would press, it would totally empty the top tank and just fucking go... And it was so fucking sick. Just like I expected, there was an intense battle happening there. In the short time it took me to take care of the area behind the school building, it seems like, like most of my classmates were already shot. I wasn't surprised though. Kinda knew it happened. You need to have a high skill to fight in the open schoolyard. especially when most of the club members were there. It must have been like a battle of elephants and ants. What is that Mion is holding? Got a fucking 50 cal? Mion was holding a different water gun from the one she had when the game started. She was now holding one that looked like a huge machine gun. I fucking knew it. Oh my god. Its range capability, its pump action. Dude, what fucking machine gun has a pump action shooting? And the amount of water it can hold were way beyond comparison. There were no restrictions on what kind of water guns we could use today. As long as it's a water gun, we were allowed to use any kind. Okay, peace out. Have a good one. Most of us have a normal pistol-style water gun from a local toy store or something similar. Oh my god, dude. I remember the clear... I'm assuming they were like acrylic or something, but the old dog shit clear fucking toy pistols that would barely fit in your hand. Oh my god, they were the worst. I have memories I didn't even know I had. Dude, it's that fucking execution. I would have brought a bigger one like Mion's if they had one, but they weren't in stock and I'd have to order it in. In other words, Mion ordered hers a long time ago just for today. She was always well prepared when it comes to winning. She must have thought that we wouldn't allow her to use the big water gun if she showed it off before the game started, so she must have hidden it somewhere. It looks like most of our classmates were shot right after the game started. Only a few were still alive, trying to survive as long as they could by using the heavy construction equipment as a shield. Mion mercilessly shot at them from various angles to make them come out from behind the shield. Oh my god, we have her laughing as she's executing people. Stop hiding, cowards. Oh my god, dude. Tomita and Okamura were trying their best to resist her attack from behind their shield. It looked like they had no chance against her, but actually that wasn't true. After all, the two of them were only still alive because of all their experience in water gun battles. They survived the first few minutes of her assault, even though 99% of their classmates didn't. And they were still surviving at that very moment. Holy fuck. Mion, however, is also a battle-hardened soldier. She used the advantage of her big water tank and gradually but certainly drove them into a corner. It was only a matter of time until she broke them down. We're cornered! It's not fair that she has a machine gun. All we have to do is survive till her tank runs low. We don't stand a chance against her when she's shooting at us like this. They tried to hold out against her, but all they could do now was to keep running behind cover as Mion strafed closer and closer to them. She's bunny hopping, dude. She's a CS god. They wanted to use their 2-against-1 advantage, but it seemed like they wouldn't even get that chance. If they tried attacking recklessly, one of them might get shot, and then the other would have no chance of winning. So they grew more cautious, placing their bets on their final chance. But that caused their offense to wane. Oh, shit. Of course, Mion saw through their plan. Was that Mion's, oh my god, what's the name of it? Oh my god, why can't I just fucking played it not long ago? What the fuck is the all-out attack from Persona? Is that Mion's all-out attack right there? Of course, Mion saw through their plan. She was purposely provoking them so they'd lose their patience and start attacking her recklessly. Mion circled around the construction equipment, and now she was standing with her back towards me. If I went up against her machine gun fair and square, I wouldn't stand a chance. So attacking from behind would be the only way for me to defeat her. She probably has this in the cards, dude. You're gonna get fucked. Even though she was in a defenseless position, there was some distance between us. I was still too far away, but it would still be better to attack her now than to take her head on. Don't hesitate, Keiichi. You won't have this chance again. I stepped out from my hiding place and ran as fast as I could towards her with 2 water guns in my hands. Instead of approaching slowly and silently, I screamed at the top of my lungs. Mion! Ugh. What? There you are, Kei. Mion seemed a little shocked by my surprise attack, but she immediately pulled herself together. She knew the advantages of her weapon. But she didn't shoot me just yet. She held back, luring me closer. Mion was well aware of how much water she had left. If she had the same kind of water gun as me, we would have had the same range capability, so it would have been down to our technique to decide the winner. If she was fighting against one of her underclassmen, she would have defeated them easily. Mion immediately calculated her chance of winning against me and figured out that her only chance was to use the advantage of her water gun. She saw the eye of the tiger in me and recalculated her chances of winning in a split second. Really, I can admire how fast she does those things. I ran at top speed to shorten the distance between us. Our strength should have been equal. I had 2 water guns with full tanks, and she had a machine gun with a half-empty tank. We both waited for the perfect moment. All-out attack. Your fighting spirit deserves my respect, Kei. I'm not sure if I would have been a match for you today if I didn't have this gun. I'm disappointed in you, Mion. Your calculations are off today. Did you say you thought you could beat me? Because you don't stand a chance. The moment we step within range, this is a fucking JoJo battle right now. This is Dio and Jotaro walking up to each other. Mion and I pulled our triggers at the same time. Mion set her sights squarely on me while I was trying to shoot and run at the same time. Her shot would obviously be more accurate than mine. My shot of water flew towards nowhere. Mion didn't even need to duck. But Mion's shot made a beautiful arc straight towards my chest. I could see the line of water coming straight at me, but I was too unstable to dodge. Mion had no doubt that she got me. You need to have more spirit to defeat me. I knew you'd be the first to go down. I'm still disappointed in you, Mion. Your calculations are really off today. Bullshit! You can't dodge that shot. It'll go straight through you, and you'll regret the moment you chose to come at me screaming rather than creeping up on me from behind. You're really disappointing me today, Mion. You could have figured it out if you'd spent just one more second to think. There's a distraction for the other two kids to come and get you. You could have figured out the reason why I didn't creep up on you, but screamed as loud as I could instead. Mion noticed my surprise attack and turned around to face me. In other words, she turned her back on the opponents she was fighting earlier. Those opponents heard my scream and saw that she had turned her back on them. What's this? Mion noticed her back was wet and cold. She finally understood that the underclassmen she was attacking just earlier had shown their fangs and attacked her from behind. I blocked her water shot with my arm. Right before it hit my chest. I mean, I would still kind of count as you being hit, brother. But, no, I'll give you a pass on that one. Damn it, I got hit first on my... Oh, I see. You took too long to figure it out. Now get down, Mion. Mion squatted down and covered her head. Now it was me versus Tomita and Okamura. Their reflexes weren't so bad. They knew well that I'd be their next target after Mion was gone. They didn't feel sorry at all for attacking me right after I just saved them from their predicament. That's what we call opportunism. I can respect the cruelty and how quickly they shifted gears. They may one day be able to join our club if they keep refining their senses and skill. Our next target is Maebara. Let's get him. It's 1 against 2. We can take him. They were, however, 1 step behind me. It was already too late. For them, Mion was their first target, and I was next. But I was different. Constructed separately. My first target was them from the start. I didn't even see Mion as my target to begin with, because I knew they'd take care of her. I was pointing my guns at them long before they moved their sights from Mion to me. It seemed like they noticed at the last moment that both of my guns had been pointing at them from the beginning, which meant it was already too late for them. Executioner style. I jumped over Mion, rolled on the ground, and landed on my feet. I looked as elegant as an athlete who had just finished a perfect performance. I had a gun in each of my hands, and with those guns I shot them each in the middle of their chests. So fast. How could the two of us lose against one? Tomita and Okamura fell to their knees in disappointment. I can't believe you did all this, Kay. I guess I'm off today, like you said. Mion wiped the dirt off her knees, looking frustrated. Don't worry, it wasn't you. Then why did I lose? That's simple. I twirled my guns on the tips of my fingers. I have to win sometimes in order to keep looking so cool. There were only a few people left alive. Rina, Satoko, and myself. What about Rika? Did Rika just not play? Rina and Satoko were fighting fiercely. Were they evenly matched? No, Satoko was pushing her hard. Moving fast, she was driving Rina into a corner. Rina was usually gentle and slow, but today, she was different. She was very serious today, and yet, Satoko was still overwhelming her. She's a tough customer, even without her tricky traps. Oh, do you remember threatening me earlier? I suppose you were just bluffing. You move well, but I'm still gonna win. Fucking execution style going on here. Satoko kept moving around, piling on pressure in order to pin Rina down. She kept shooting, oops. So her tank must have been almost empty, but her shots were still sharp and fast. I noticed a bucket near her feet, which was full of many water guns. Oh, okay. Understood. Seeing that. She'd been taking guns from others who were already out of the game. In this battle, reloading bullets, water, was more crucial than the actual shooting. The hole that you put water into on these guns is rather small. To put water through it from a faucet takes time and requires a certain amount of skill. I don't know if it requires that much skill, bro. In a battle like this, it would be almost suicidal. I understood that well, so I've been taking guns from the people I defeated, but I could only hold one in each hand. Satoko used a bucket to overcome the limit. Bucket strat. Rina looked like she had only one water gun. I'd assume she had 2 earlier, but she must have used a lot of water during her long battle with Satoko. It looked like she was trying to save her water for the right moment, but with Satoko's fierce attacks, it was obvious that it was only a matter of time before Rina was driven into a corner. However, Rina is also quite skilled. She only pretended to be driven into a corner, but she was actually luring Satoko to a place where she'd have the advantage. There was a narrow twisting path near the gymnasium warehouse behind the school building. With Rina's water level running low, she'd want to turn things around with a single, close-range shot. The narrow path was a perfect place for her to do that. What's wrong? You're slowing down a little. Getting tired? Haha, I appreciate your concern, but I'm not tired at all. I think you should worry more about your remaining water. You haven't shot back at me for a while. Your tank is empty, I suppose. If you think so, why don't you stop hiding and show your face? I'll pass. I'm aware you've been holding on to your last shot. One shot's all I need, dude. Rina's got one in the chamber, dude. I'll be nice and shoot you in the forehead. I don't want you to get your clothes wet after all. I never imagined I could have such a thrilling battle with you, Rina. However, with the amount of water you have remaining, I doubt you have enough pressure to make that last shot go far. Satoko was right about that. Rina had just enough water to make one last shot. As the amount of water left in the tank dwindles, the range of shots you can make shortens. That makes the last shot the shortest and weakest of them all. Regardless of her absolutely disadvantageous situation, Rina didn't look frustrated. I could tell she had no intention to lose. It was almost like she didn't even see Satoko as a threat. You picked a perfect location for yourself, did you not? I have to tread cautiously. Satoko seemed to understand how dangerous Rina's last shot was going to be better than I did, since she was the one actually fighting against her. I don't play chess very often, but I believe this kind of situation is called a stalemate, is it not? Satoko took out another gun with a full tank and shortened the distance between them slowly and carefully. A gun with a full tank doesn't only have a long range, it also has enough power to make shots more accurate. If they shot at each other in a frontal attack, Satoko would have a 99% chance to win. Wow. Still 1% though. Even so, Satoko was still afraid of Rina's last shot. Satoko shortened the distance even further, smiling as if unafraid, but I could tell she was actually full of fear. Satoko compared the situation to chess earlier, but it wasn't exactly the same. In chess? Excuse me, I don't know why I yawn. I'm not even tired. In chess, you can use some pieces to drive the opponent's king into a corner, but in this case, there were only Rina and Satoko. You can lose some of your pieces in order to achieve a win, but Satoko doesn't have any pieces other than herself. A king can't drive the other king into a corner alone. That's called a stalemate. That's why, while at the first glance it looks like Satoko has the absolute advantage, they're actually on equal footing. Well, yeah, I mean, it would be a stalemate, so in this situation, they would both lose, or I guess they would draw. You can't put a king into check with a king. Oh my god. We're gonna go on a little tangent here. I'm sure some of you have definitely seen Code Geass. Sorry, I'm having a stroke. That fucking chess scene in that anime is peak cringe. Holy fuck. The fucking thing where he's like, well, a king has to lead, because if a king doesn't lead, how will his men follow? It's like, buddy, you can't do that. But he does it. Well, actually, I mean, you could do that. He does that, and then the other guy who's facing him is like, wow, that's a great strategy. I'll do that too. And he puts Zero's fucking, or not Zero, whatever, Lelouch's king in check with his own king, which you can't fucking do. I don't know, I know there's more significance to the scene than just the actual chess game, but holy cringe, man. Let us finish this. It's not like us to wait for the bell to bring an end to this battle. You're right. Let's do this. That's strange, I thought. Rina wouldn't have to move just on a dare from Satoko. What kind of plan did she have? Rina had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. I noticed something right away. Rina had a different gun. Satoko seemed to notice it as well. I had a plan to hide here when my water ran low. I hid a gun in advance. Damn, she's good. And using a trap at the last moment for a come-from-behind victory. It was as though she was taking Satoko's best skill from her and firing it right back. Satoko no longer had any advantages now that both of them were pointing their guns at each other with full tanks. Again, bro, if you got your gun pointed at them, and this is a true winner-takes-all, fight-or-flight, live-or-die reaction, bro, don't be holding the shot. Point that shit and blast it. Like, don't be holding it. But she still looked confident. What's going on? Did she have some kind of plan, too? That gun you're holding right now is very important to me. What do you mean? You would have kept waiting for your perfect shot and wouldn't have come out hiding if you didn't have that gun. At that moment, lightning ran through my brain, and I instantly understood the situation. What, did she rig the gun? Like, is it busted? Of course. Rina was in a disadvantageous situation earlier, but it was actually the same for Satoko, since she didn't have a chance to make her shot while Rina was in hiding. Rina had remained cautious in order to hit her with the last shot, and that made it difficult for Satoko to attack her. However, what if Rina didn't need to take the last shot for a come-from-behind victory? No, I said it wrong. What if Rina got a new gun with a full tank? She'd stop hiding and come out to fight against Satoko. You see, I knew from the beginning that you'd run over here in order to obtain that gun. Let Satoko talk crap, Rina. You don't have to listen to her, just shoot her right now. Rina thought the same thing. She shot at Satoko without any hesitation. But she frowned in confusion a moment after. Yeah, the gun's rigged. What was going on? She couldn't shoot? Was her water gun broken? Or did somebody break it? Didn't you know that you can easily break a water gun by putting a little bit of sand in an empty tank and pulling the trigger several times? You knew I was hiding my trump card here and pulled a cheap trick like that, huh? I told you. You only set one small trap at the last moment. This is the beauty of traps. Damn, Satoko. Cultured individual. When it comes to traps, Satoko remained a notch above Rina after all. I couldn't believe Satoko figured out Rina's plan in advance and set a trap to counter it. Rina, you made a big mistake. You should have kept the old gun with you. You could have at least made that last shot. But it's too late now for you to pick it up again. Rina was in a worse situation than she was before. She couldn't even take another shot. Be prepared. You told me earlier that you'd shoot me in the forehead, did you not? Well, I will at least be kind enough to do you the same favor. Satoko narrowed her distance again and pointed the muzzle at Rina's forehead. Rina still didn't look like she'd given up. She still thought the game was undecided. Satoko, you're not as good as you think you are. What did you say? If you got me with your trap, it'd be your right as the winner to allow yourself the room to breathe and smile like you're doing right now. But all you've done is drive me into a tough spot. You haven't killed me yet. Don't you think it's a little too early for you to act like you've already got me? What's she saying? You're counting your fucking chickens before the eggs have hatched, okay? It makes no difference, because I'm going to get you right now. If I were you, I'd just shoot rather than keep talking. You know why? Because if I didn't, I'd lose. Lose? Are you talking about me? I highly doubt you can fight with a jammed water gun. Do you remember the rule? You're hit when it's water from a water gun. Doesn't mean it has to be shot from it. So what are you saying? When I heard her saying that, I started running. My target was Rina. Satoko was already dead to me. Why? She was going to be shot by Rina within the second. I have absolutely no idea what you're referring to, Rina. What do you think you can do with a jammed water gun? As long as I have water in my gun, I can still fight. Don't you get it yet? Rina raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its handle on the wall of the school building as hard as she could. The plastic broke easily and water flowed out of it. As long as the water from the gun hits you, you're dead. It doesn't matter where the water comes out. Rina was right. She just saved herself by thinking it through. If she was using a real gun, bullets would only come out from one end of the gun. But this was a water gun. She could make her bullets, water in this case, come out from any place, not just the barrel of the gun. What? Satoko finally realized that she was standing defenselessly in front of Rina. Satoko's trap was successful, but she overestimated its effect. She should have just shot Rina without hesitation before Rina noticed her new water gun was jammed. She was going to fail because she had grown overconfident of her victory. A second before Satoko pulled the trigger, Rina swung her water gun as if slashing Satoko with a sword. Satoko fired her bullets, but it was too late. A second before Rina would be shot down, a blade of water hit Satoko in the face. No, not hit. It cut her face open. There's like fucking gushing blood. Your endgame wasn't good enough. Guess Rina's not a Marvel fan. I can't believe I lost. Rina ran towards Satoko, who was standing still in shock, and took her water gun. Rina knew I was her last target, and that I was running towards her. Rina, using her superior mobility, began to duck and weave. We were evenly matched. Neither of us neglected to make any effort possible to take advantage of the situation. I knew it'd end up being a one-on-one battle with you. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. I'm seeing you in a new light today. Dude, Keiichi's a John Mayer fan? Dude, we're learning so much shit. I didn't know you had the guts. Rather than a new light, I'd like you to see me in a romantic way. I can try if you let me win. No thanks. We circled around the construction equipment, trying to take shots at each other. We were both sweating like crazy, but I didn't feel tired. Big drops of sweat tickled as they ran down my body. Boom, boom, Rapid bursts of water flew across both of our paths. Neither of us had the advantage or disadvantage. I didn't feel elated that I might win or frustrated that I might lose. I was just enjoying this battle with Rina. It was like a dance that I couldn't dance alone. A dance that I could only dance with an opponent. Rina sure is sharp when she gets serious. It's giving me chills. Keiichi is good too. He's evenly matched with her. I can't tell who's gonna win, so I guess Rika just didn't play. In fact, none of the observers could tell who was gonna win. Neither could we. We had no idea who was going to win. We had no idea when this battle would end. I didn't know why, but it was great fun just to fight against Rina, and I didn't even care whether I won or lost. In fact, I never even wanted it to end. As we fired at each other, both of our tanks emptied, shortening our range. Inevitably, it became more and more like a melee than a gunfight. We fired our water guns as if trying to cut each other with blades of water, swinging the guns like a sword. We both came up with the idea to swing the gun hard to generate centrifugal force in order to increase the range of our attacks. I dived to duck her shot. I rolled on the ground and landed on my feet. I ducked her shot again and swung my gun like a sword. Who could have imagined that our club's water gun battle would turn into a one-on-one close combat like this? Absolutely nobody. Huh. Oh, you think so too, Rina? You too, Keiichi. We're both breathing hard, calculating the timing needed to take a closer step. And then we both grinned wickedly at each other. This is so fun. I don't want it to ever end. Don't hate me if you lose. No, never. I'd hate myself for not ending this game. But I know I won't be the one crying in the end. I don't know about that. Your feet are getting weak, like they're made of straw. Look at these chicken legs, man. What the hell? What is this, Keiichi? Keiichi had stunted growth for sure. Look at this. My guy. Oh my god, look at Rina. Wow, they both look so cool. Meibara, go. Ryugu, you can get him. I became relaxed enough to enjoy the battle, and finally realized that many of our classmates were watching our one-on-one fight. I barely had any water left. I would have to make the next shot count, or I was done for. It seemed like Rina was in the same situation too. Next shot will decide it. I wish we could fill up our tanks and keep doing this forever. Well, people enjoy things because they end eventually. Flowers are beautiful especially because they wither. I see, that's one way to look at it. It's been fun fighting against you, but this is it. Indeed. Sorry, but I'm going to end this battle. I feel like this might be a little bit of a foreshadowing here. Good luck, Keiichi. Don't cry when you lose. Let's do this. Hell yeah. Which one of them won? The cries of the cicadas echoed in the quiet schoolyard. They sounded like the hand of a watch ticking away the seconds. Neither one of us moved. We took our final shots and now stood motionless. It looked like one of those duels in Western movies. Who hit the other first? It's going to be a tie. I don't know, I couldn't see it. Our classmates broke the silence first. They finally realized that our intensely beautiful one-on-one battle was over. Class Prez, what's your decision? Mion, come on. Help a brother out. Mion in turn realized that she had to deliver a verdict to end the game. But she was just as stunned as the others, and it took her a moment to recover. Mion was taking time to render her verdict. In fact, Rina and I didn't know who won either. My last shot flew fast and splashed sideways as if a blade had cut her chest. I knew that for sure. But at the same moment, Rina's shot hit me on the shoulder. Whoever shot the other first wins. But we didn't know if it was me or her. That's why we stood motionless, waiting for the verdict to be delivered. It's just going to get called a tie. Did you see it, Rika? I can't tell. Class Prez, who won? Everybody held their breath, waiting for Mion to call it. Rina and I kept staring at each other. The spectators were the only ones who were interested in who the winner was. To us, it wasn't that important. We had a great battle. We'd both really wanted to do better than the other. We both wanted to call it a tie. For this great battle, settling for a tie would be the best and most proper option. In other words, this one-on-one fight wasn't a battle to decide the winner. Seems like everybody's thinking the same way. Me? Yeah. They can't move if you don't declare a verdict. Yeah. Mion hates to settle for a tie because she loves to draw a line between superiors and inferiors. Dude, Squad W, what the fuck? She tends to settle for a tie when deciding who is the loser because it's more fun to have as many people as possible suffer the punishment, but she's never settled for a tie between winners before. Mion holds a special feeling towards the meaning of being number one. Everybody continued holding their breath, awaiting her verdict. Please make it a tie. Everybody wished for that in their hearts. Mion was hesitating to make the decision. She could have chosen the winner more easily, I didn't mean to skip that, but even if one of us did a little better than the other, I feel like nothing fits better than settling for a tie. Two of you did great today. Mion finally started speaking. Kay and Rena, you showed us significant spirit and skill today. The explosive power you showed us was so beautiful that it's beyond even the highest praise I can ever give. It's very difficult for me to decide who the winner should be after watching such an amazing battle. Then you mean we have two winners? I don't like to have two winners. It's not really the point of our club. However, they were both so good that it's very hard for me to decide who is better. So, I'm going to call it a tie for today. And they'll have another battle some other time to decide the winner. And the actual future battle is going to be for our lives. It'll be a real duel to the death. I expected she might settle for a tie, but I never thought she'd make us have another battle. Hey, Bar, you were awesome. Dude, what do you mean? Don't come kissing my ass, bro. You were cheering for Rena. Get out of here. Same with you, bro. Get out of here. The classmates rushed towards us and praised us for showing them something that cool. Rena and I were finally released from the tension of battle and dropped to our knees. Too bad. We tied. Yeah, I can't wait for our next battle. Can you give me your hand? Of course. I was going to ask you the same thing. Fucking suplexes her. We both smiled at each other. It was the first time we ever hit it off like this. That aside, she pulled a fast one, hasn't she? What do you mean? Me's trying to get away without suffering the punishment while we're distracted. Because she did lose. She was just trying to sound cool, but the main reason she delivered that verdict was to protect herself. Yeah, hey. She's running away. Looks like my guess was right. She's so obvious. The bell rang, a sign that class was over, while we all laughed at Mion. After that, good job out there, you two. Here, use this towel. Rika held out a towel, a big smile on her face. However, Rena and I stepped back and pointed our water guns at her. Meep, I was already shot many times. I told everybody I was already hit, but nobody believed me. Rika was soaking wet. Well, nobody believed her because she really could be that sneaky, pretending that she was hit in order to stay in the game. It's your own fault that nobody believes you. Sometimes it's hard to believe anything you say. True. Everybody is so mean to me. I feel lonely. I'm lonely like a poor kitten crying in a cardboard box because nobody wants her. Boom. The sound came from Rena's head. I saw a circle of smoke coming out of it. Rena must have pictured Rika meowing like a cat in a cardboard box. Oh. Rika is an abandoned kitten. I'm taking her home with me. Rena, you're ruining how cool we looked earlier. Rena was back to her normal self and jumped on Rika like a chameleon capturing its prey. Rika struggles to get away. Come on, everyone, get back to your classroom now. Chie clapped her hands and yelled at us from a window of the teacher's office. Let's go. Let's go. Everyone exchanged smiles and ran back to the classroom. And there you go. The great duel is finally over. There's obviously some foreshadowing going on there, as in them making a deal about a duel between Rena and Keiichi. And if I recall, if this is a Chapter 1 timeline, I remember who wins that shit, bro. Keiichi. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, murders both Mion and Rena. Sucks to suck. And now we're gonna get to the more interesting stuff now. The one thing I will say that I haven't liked in some of these games is I hate how hype and how interesting it is towards the end, just for us to go into like some slice of life dog shit at the start of the next episode. But I'll give the answer arcs some credit. They don't tend to dwell as long on this, and they tend to get into the stuff pretty quickly. Pleasant weather. Pleasant Park. One reason I like my house is because it has good ventilation. It's a good reason to like a house. As long as there's a nice breeze, I don't have to rely on a fan to keep me cool. I can take down my futon. Ow, I just knocked something over. Why did I knock over here? I can take down my futon from the windowsill, place my cushion near the open window, and enjoy the cool breeze of the evening. According to my page-a-day calendar, it's June 1983 today. We know what that means. Wait, you have a page-a-day calendar? Are you fucking Phineas and Ferb? What? No shot. Why would they ever make this? This seems so... I'm sorry, do these things... I mean, I'm sure they exist, but... No shot these exist. Why? Oh my god, they do. I don't know, that seems a little bit wasteful. I have 365 when you can have 12? I want to check something real quick. Has Taylor Hall been traded yet? No. Great. Okay, let's continue. Well, it was still June. It seemed like summer skipped the rainy season and was already coming around the corner. This was very abnormal, apparently. Even if it was abnormal weather that only comes around once in 100 years, if it was supposed to come in June of 1983, then it wasn't so much of a big deal. It was inevitable. On the other hand, the sudden evening shower on the way home from school was more unpredictable than anything else. Every day had bidded perfect harmony, as if it was all carefully planned. I felt like something good was gonna happen this year. How should I put it? It's like the feeling I get when I roll a 6 on the first throw of a board game and start off with a huge lead. When it comes to a die, the more you roll it, the more the total averages out. Yup, any stats fans? Regression towards the mean? Any big fans? We actually roll a die many times every day of our lives, so it's not like one stroke of luck is really a big deal to be overly happy with. Well, no, it is. Being lucky at the right times is quite good. If I roll a 6 on my first throw and a 1 on the next, the total is 7. If you believe in fate, you might say there's a higher possibility of a 1 to come up on the die. I'm guessing he's saying after you roll a 6. That's not really how it works, though, but you can never actually tell what number you will roll. That's what fate is all about. You might roll a 6 again. The chance of rolling a 6 twice in a row is 1 out of 36. That's true, because it's 1 over 6 times 1 over 6. But if you look at each throw one by one, there's only a 1/6 chance of that miracle. That is, in fact, how that works, yep. The glass wind chime Satoko put up yesterday was making a refreshing sound. That basically meant Jack fucking squat. Okay, let's continue. I awoke from my dream, still feeling excited. I must have had a very happy dream. Okay, let's stop here. I'm not trying to get banned. I already forgot what it was about. Good thing for you and me both. It felt as if there was a switch that automatically made me forget my dreams when I opened my eyes. All I could remember is that it was a happy dream. I looked at the ceiling and enjoyed the happy feeling for a while. I look at the ceiling. It was Sunday. Sunday fun day. Outside the window, I could hear the morning bird song. Why is this so loud out of nowhere? I could hear morning bird song. This sounded totally different from what I heard on weekdays. The morning bird song on weekdays sounds like they're in a rush, as if they're telling me to hurry to school. But on Sunday, it's different. I could tell that the birds are singing simply because they want to tell everybody how great a morning it is. I even felt like the birds that sing on weekdays must be different birds from the ones that sing on Sunday. I wonder if there really are birds that only sing on Sunday. Sounds like a very luxurious job for some reason. It's a waste to listen to such a valuable bird song when you're not quite awake. As I fully awaken, my normal crude personality takes over, and I start feeling stupid to even think there might be birds that sing only on Sunday. Well, yeah, they don't use a Gregorian calendar, sir, so... As I yawned and stretched, my blood started circulating through my entire body. Felt good. I turned over and looked at the clock, which says it's past 10 a.m. I usually go to my cram school on Sunday at 10. That was before I moved to Hinamizawa. My parents made me go to several cram schools back then. Holy shit, I gotta turn down client-side sound again. This shit is loud. This music. I remember the one I had to go to on the first and the third Sundays of the month was the hardest one of all because I had to change trains several times to get there. I was never allowed to sleep in so late back then. My mom always woke me up early so I didn't miss my classes. It's probably why I've always dreamed of being able to wake up whenever I wanted on Sunday. Needless to say, I don't feel that way anymore now that I moved to Hinamizawa. After all, I can always sleep till noon on Sunday now. My life has changed completely since I moved here. Before, I used to think living in the countryside would be really inconvenient. To be honest, I wasn't even interested in living here. But it was only the first few days that I felt that way. Now, I don't feel attached to life in the city or its conveniences. When I think about what part of my life in Hinamizawa I'm the most attached to, I'd have to say it's probably my friends. I guess the reason why I'm being so sentimental is probably because I had so much fun yesterday in the water gun fight with all my classmates. Dude, I forgot that in Japan they go to school on Saturday. Dan's fucking gaming. Despite my age, I got so into it and had so much fun. I bet the kids in the city wouldn't be able to play like that. No. I should say they wouldn't even want to in the first place. They wouldn't even realize how exciting a simple water gun fight could be. I went downstairs and I fucking slammed into the shoe cupboard again and saw my parents watching a serious TV program, arguing about the topic together. First of all, Among Us is bad. No, Among Us is good. Telephone service charges in Japan are way too expensive. It's because the state has a monopoly. But private companies are profit-oriented organizations. They're not exactly charitable. I wonder if they can maintain uniform service nationwide. The experts on TV were arguing about the same thing. It seems like there's a possibility the telephone service will get privatized. I'm too young to understand how privatization could make things better. But I can easily assume that people will start talking about privatizing the postal services in the near future too. I didn't mean to skip that. My parents were arguing about the topic fiercely, but they got along very well. Let's put it this way. They got along well, and that's why they argue. I don't remember seeing them get along this well when we were living in the city. It's probably one of the things that got better since we moved to Hinamizawa. A cold relationship between parents doesn't bring any benefit to their kids. Oh, Keiichi, you're up early today. Do you want to eat breakfast? No, thanks. I'm going out today. I don't need anything. Are you going out with your friends? Is it those club activities that you always talk about? No, it's not a club activity day. It's the punishment for the game we played yesterday. Someone rang the doorbell. I looked at the clock and noticed. It's time to meet Rina. I guess I spent too much time enjoying waking up late. I ran upstairs to get a change of clothes. I quickly changed and ran to the front door. Rina was chatting with my parents. I always feel uncomfortable when my parents talk to my friends. I'm afraid they'll say something embarrassing about me. They told Rina that I wet my bed till I was X years old or something. She wouldn't wait until Monday to tell everybody in my school, or maybe even everyone in Hinamizawa. Hey Rina, good morning. Sorry for making you wait. Keiichi? Rina and my parents looked at me and laughed. I said good morning, and they laughed. I guess I was too late. My parents must have already told Rina some embarrassing secrets about me. I don't want my parents to tell her anything else, so I put my shoes on in a rush and pushed Rina out of the house. My parents waved at us, smiling. Have a nice day. Rina, please take care of Keiichi. How? Don't worry. I'll take good care of Keiichi. I have no idea why you'd have to do that. I don't need you to take care of me. I dragged Rina away from the house and we were on our way. And the music fucking stopped. It's new art. We rode our bicycles to the town of Okinomiya. It's a long way away. Oh no. You know who's in Okinomiya? SHI Omega Lol N. No. No, I don't want to see her again. Keep her away. She ruins everything whenever she shows up. She's a murderer. It's an easy ride to the town because it's mostly downhill. But needless to say, it's a hard ride on the way back. Felt like Rena was giggling whenever she looked at me. I badly wanted to know what kind of embarrassing information my parents had fed her before I came downstairs. Tried to give her a new subject to talk about in order to get whatever she heard from my parents out of her mind. How come you're so close to my folks? Well, we are very close because we talk a lot. When do you talk to my parents? I've never seen you having a conversation. I see your mother a lot at the grocery store. She's there a lot on special bargain and extra point days. Oh yeah, my mom keeps a close eye on those. She sticks notes like that on the refrigerator. They're always all about when and where she can get things cheaper. Whenever I see her at the store, we talk about what we're making for dinner. For that night, we do shopping together. Fuck me, why am I yawning? A few days ago, she told me that the curry sauce was on sale, and she was gonna have curry and rice for dinner that night, so I did the same. I remember we had curry and rice the day before yesterday. So you had curry and rice that day too, huh? Yeah. You had pork curry, didn't you? Pork was on sale that day, so your mom and I both bought some. So when I was eating my curry at home, I knew you were having the same. This is kind of creepy, dude. So she knows what I'm eating for dinner almost every day. So that explains that one time how Rena knew what I was eating. And that my mom was out of town. Huh. Weird, champ. Didn't bother me, but I did feel kind of embarrassed. I usually see your father with your mother at the grocery store. Your parents get along very well, huh? Yeah, they like to go grocery shopping together. I think they're a good couple for their age. I think it's very important that your parents get along well. It's cute that they still go grocery shopping together. It's enough about my parents. What about yours, Rena? Do they get along well? Yeah, they do. They're always hugging and kissing. So, how? I feel like there's no room for me in the house. Her parents are a lovey-dovey couple, huh? I've never met Rena's mother, but I imagine she's just like Rena. I could easily imagine her mother going crazy about the spot her husband missed when shaving, because it looks so cute to her, like sesame seeds on white rice. She must love to touch her husband's chubby stomach because it feels so soft. What am I reading? It was funny how easily I can imagine her mother doing those things. Ha ha ha. What's so funny? I'm curious about your mother now. Oh, Keiichi. Keiichi! This is my kind of conversation. I'm gonna go to your house next time and meet your mother. Keiichi! Oh man! Is Keiichi a MILF hunter? What? No. You talk to my mother, it's only fair I get to talk to yours too, isn't it? Oh, but my mom isn't as interesting a person as you think. She's normal and boring. I can even picture how she looks. I know it. She looks just like you, doesn't she? What? What? No, she doesn't. She doesn't look like me at all. Then why are you acting so weird? Your reaction tells me everything. Anyway, I'm really interested in your mother now. I'm gonna see her sometime. Be prepared. Oh, no way. If you really do come to my house, I'll be so mad at you. Your daughter has become a great friend to me. No, wait. It'll be more fun if I say something like, I've been seeing your daughter and I'm serious about her. Oh, if you come to my house, I'll tell me and the others the stories from when you were little. What? What kind of stories are you talking about? Well, the one I heard from your mother is about when you were 4 years old, and the other one is about the slide when you were 6 years old, and another one is about when you were... Okay, you got me, Rena. I'll never get within a 100-meter radius of your house as long as you live. Thank you. Damn it, Mom. I'll remember this. MILF hunting goal officially over. We arrived at the station. The place we were going today is right near there. No! It's a restaurant called Angel Mort. We were meeting up with the others there. I was surprised when I saw the restaurant. It's usually a normal and quiet restaurant, but today there were many people in front of it. It must be the dessert thing, right? They didn't look like they were waiting in line to get inside. It looked more like they were just loitering around. They should just line up and go inside like normal people. Wow! What's going on? There's so many people here. The restaurant is a big event today. Many people coming from far away. There's a flag saying Dessert Festa in front of the restaurant. Not Fiesta? Come on. I heard the Angel Mart holds events like this several times a year, and a lot of people come to attend from all over. Today, only people who have a ticket can get into the restaurant. One ticket allows up to 4 people to get in. Okay, so this is weird. This is an alternate timeline. This is different. This is totally different. Write this down. Huh. This is very odd. I see, so these people are waiting for friends who have a ticket. Not exactly. Some people have tickets, but don't have 4 people to go with. So you're saying that these people are just here to find someone who'd like to share their empty seats. At that time, the crowd of people roared in excitement. What was going on? This guy has a ticket. He's trying to get inside alone when he can bring 3 more with him. How rude. Please let me join you. If you let me join you, I'll honor you with a very rare Angel Mart trading card. I'd come with Frontfield's newest summer kit. I can't even read this. I'd come with Frontfield's newest summer kit issue and its limited edition book. I'll give you the beta version of Higurashi with a mode that lets you change everyone's outfits. Make a deal with me for a modded version of G's figure. I'll give you 10,000 yen in real money. You fool, RMT is prohibited. Report, account banned. Yeah, real money trading. Come on, brother. I have no idea what they're talking about. The fans of this restaurant are a little scary, huh? Anyway, what about our ticket? There are 5 of us. How are we all gonna get in? Shh! You know, Mi's family owns this restaurant, so you know. Miana's so cool sometimes. Rina makes a fist and gets all fired up. Miana's cool all the time. Get it right. Well, let's go. We're gonna dash through the crowd without stopping. That seems like the best course of action, actually. Okay. We nodded at each other. Since we were a group of 2 at present, it looked like we'd have 2 more seats to share. These people might try mobbing us in order to get a share. We crouched down, getting ready to run. The crowd of people seemed to notice us. Look! Look at them! They're gonna force their way through! He's trying to fill a booth alone with his girlfriend. How reprehensible! We're gonna sit with them and crush their lovey-dovey mood. Fight back to the last round. Show them the iron will of the... Okay, you know what? We're gonna pass on that one. Damn, they were gonna tackle us. They'd do whatever it took to stop us from getting inside the restaurant. Today is the day me and the others suffer their punishment. If we can't get inside, our victory yesterday will have been in vain. I can't let that happen. We exhausted ourselves to obtain that victory. To watch our friends undergo the punishment is our right, and our duty as well. And no matter how cool we sound, what we're really after is one thing. Oh, I can't wait to see how Satoko and Rika look. I'm taking them home with me. Hey you, young couple, share your empty seats with us, all nice and quiet like. Yeah, we won't let you go through. I won't allow you to use your ticket for yourselves. You have to share the empty seats with us. They reached their hands towards us like zombies. They gradually got closer and closer. We were actually taking it easy though. In fact, I'd say the situation was rather enjoyable. Ha 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 ha, it's like we're still in the middle of the game we played yesterday. Yeah, it's getting fun. Let's kick their asses. Yep, roger that. It's a lot easier to fight against them than against me and Satoko, you know? Indeed. I'd say with even 20 to 30 of them, it's still easier than fighting against the other club members. They didn't have enough people to stop us. Great, let's do this. Our enemies number about 20 to 30. If they wanted to stop us, they should have gotten 10 times more people than that. Oria. Is this guy turning into Ganon? Like, what's going on? He's got the Doria going on? Welcome to Angel Mart. Today we're holding a special event. Do you have a ticket? We don't have a ticket, but we were told to give our names. We're Rina, Ryugu, and Keiichi Maebara. Let me check on our list. Please wait for a moment. Seems like many fans of this restaurant aren't normal people. I bet they'd try to get in with lies or fake tickets. No wonder this waitress makes sure to check the list. Anyway, those people were just too freaky back there. There's no way normal people could get through them without a struggle. Huh, you might be right. But nobody can stop me, how? You sure did them in. Did you use your elbows or knees? You hit them right in the middle of their faces. You're a scary person. The way Rena swept them off their feet with super fast invisible jabs was incredible. It even gave me chills just thinking about it. That's because they tried to sabotage my chance to take my girls home with me. They must look so cute today. I'm taking all of them home with me. When you're in cute mode, nobody stands a chance. I sure hope they admitted their loss after getting beaten up that badly. You did great too, Keiichi. At first, I thought you'd be engulfed by them, but they became all quiet and let you through with tears in their eyes. What did you do to them? Nothing really. I just told them that I'd get into the restaurant and make sure to see everything they wanted to see. And I told them, you might have to shed tears now, but I believe you can get a ticket next time. That's all I said, but they seemed to understand me. You're so good at that sort of thing. You know, making people listen to you. Yeah, you sure are our club's magician of words. They're all calling me that now. Can't you please come up with a better name? I'll think about it. Rena laughs loudly. Thank you so very much for waiting. I can bring your names in the list. I'll take you to your table. Please follow me. The waitress led us to our seats. The restaurant was completely packed today. It made for a cheerful but sort of crazy atmosphere. All the customers in the restaurant were very unique people, just like the ones loitering outside. There was an aura of excitement in the store, and it also smelled a bit sweaty. They were also talking excitedly using special terms that I don't understand again, just like the people outside. Angel Mort is all about the uniform. You taste food with your tongue, but in Angel Mort you can taste it with your eyes too. Where's the waitress with the big heavy pair of melons? I don't see her today. You need to check the shift roster. If you like girls with big tits, you have to come on Tuesday and Thursdays after 5 p.m. If you like girls with small tits, you have to come on Friday after 5 p.m. Dude, what a guy. I regret coming here today. And at the same time, I was really glad that I didn't lose the game yesterday. This punishment might be a bit easier for the girls, but as a guy, if I had to undergo this punishment today, I would have been kicked and punched by these crazy customers because they would have been burning with anger. Let me explain. I didn't come here just to eat lunch with Rena today. The punishment is as follows. The losers have to wear a costume that was randomly chosen and help with the event at Angel Mort as a waitress. The winners can enjoy eating the desserts, receiving service from the losers. When this punishment was announced, I'd actually prepared myself for the punishment because I thought I'd lose the game like always. I was losing a lot recently, so I didn't think I could win. I assumed that Rena felt the same way. Who could imagine Rena and I would do so well as to win? You're great, Keiichi Maebara. You made me proud. Everybody started shouting, clapping their hands and whistling for joy. I don't blame them. They came here just for the event at Angel Mort. None of them expected to see waitresses wearing different costumes like this. Meep. Okay, I don't like the voices, but I do want to hear what this sounds like. Because this is like a... Oh god. I just want to hear this part. Oh my god, dude. I would go crazy. Wait, calm down, Rena. You can't take her home yet. She has to finish her punishment first. Rika appears with glasses of water and wet napkins on a tray. They drew lots to decide on the costumes. Fuck! Rika's costume is the uniform of Angel Mort, which we regularly use for punishments. Hello. Welcome to Angel Mort. Rika put the glasses of water and the wet napkins in front of Rena and me. Oh, you look so adorable. I'm taking you home with me. Rena raised her weird voice and everybody in the store followed suit. Oh, I'm taking her home with me. Oh no. Everyone started shouting the phrase. Before I knew it, they were surrounding our table trying to burn the scene of Rika serving customers into their minds. How? Rika, you look great in that uniform. How? Meep. It's embarrassing to have everybody look at me like that. There's something different about the uniform, though. It looks like she's wearing like a uniform over the top. Good eyes, Maebara. Allow me to explain. Tomita, our underclassman, pushed his way through the crowd. Oh, Tomita, Okamura too. I didn't know you guys had a ticket. It's not important right now, Maebara. The important thing here is the uniform Furude is wearing today. As you already know, the uniforms of Angel Mort are designed to bring out the most of a mature woman's features. Therefore, it's normally required to have certain bodily proportions to wear this uniform. In that sense, this is the least compatible uniform for Furude because she's still at an early stage of development. I pick up what you're putting down. Plus, the other problem was that the restaurant couldn't find a uniform in Furude's size. That's why it was necessary to try various measures in order to facilitate her punishment. That is, to wear the uniform of Angel Mort. Therefore, they came up with the idea to use a school swimsuit, and it created an impossible combination of said swimsuit and the uniform of Angel Mort. It's so eccentric that even God couldn't see it coming. And this costume, Furude now has an overwhelming attack power, far beyond her normal statistics. She has also gained elemental enhancement, status impairment, a huge increase to her critical hit rate, and on top of that, she's also given increased invincibility time during power-ups. Do you understand how great this is? You do, don't you? Let me put it in another way. Like what Ryugu always says. I'm taking her home with me. No, you can't. I'm the one who's taking her home, but I understand exactly how you feel. I'm taking her home with me. Jesus Christ, what? So glad I don't have to, like, I'm so glad my parents don't walk in to explain, oh yeah, it's just, no, it's, you know, like, I just, like, how do you explain this? The phrase had spread throughout the entire store and was now out of control. Anyway, Tomita and Okamura surprise me sometimes. For their age, they're so good at giving passionate speeches. They'll probably make it big in the future. Where are me and Satoko? I can't wait to see them. Oh my god, the noise, it's so, I turn my sound down multiple times and it's deafening each fucking time, and I turn it down over and over. At that time, the crowd sent up in another roar. I heard Mion telling them to let her through. I don't remember what costume she picked. Okay. What's going on? Yo, it's the pitcher guy. Wow, Kameda, of course you're here because this is the Desert Festa and you're a dessert maniac. Hey, how have you been doing? It doesn't matter how I am. More importantly, what is that? What's going on here? Kameda was in a state of great excitement. Thick veins were displaying on his forehead. The source of the excitement appears through the crowd. Oh my god, there's no turning back. I guess I've got to do what I've got to do. Welcome to Angel Mort. Here's your ultra rare cheesecake. Mion appeared with a cake on a tray. Oh, now I remember what she picked for her costume. How, me, you look so cute too. I can't believe I'm doing this. I was gonna make Kay wear it. Maybara, this costume is extraordinary too. Plus, because you know her in person, and because she's the leader of the club who has never lost any games in the past, and also a class president who's always perfect at everything, you can enjoy this 500%. Even the class president who doesn't know what losing is can't escape the punishment. Your club is so terrifying. What? Please explain what's going on here, Kay. I thought we were friends because we shared a huge parfait together. How could you not tell me about such a wonderful club? I can't believe you didn't tell me about this. If I knew about it, I wouldn't have joined the baseball team. Where's the reset button for my life? The crowd roars in excitement. What a great club. I've never heard of a club as wonderful as this in my life. How? You can't join our club. Only people who live in Hinamizawa can join. What? Then I have to move my certificate of residence to Hinamizawa at once. Stop there, Rina. The population of Hinamizawa might double by tomorrow. Oh my god, what is this? Anyway, this is a beautiful punishment, Kay. Costumes that make women look beautiful are like decorations on desserts. The shortcake, for example, is just a sponge cake if you take away its decoration. If you decorate it with whipped cream, to enjoy the wonderful and mysterious harmony that layers and layers of beautiful decoration create, you can enjoy it with both your eyes and your tongue. That's why this combination of a sailor-style school uniform and gym shorts is wonderful. They're both ordinary school clothes, and each is tasteful in its own right, but let's put that aside for now. School uniform and gym clothes are in the same category, namely school. This is literally the exact same speech that I think Keiichi gave in the last thing. Nobody thought they'd taste good together, but the combination actually brought an unexplored and unknown taste to this world. Okay, he's calling you Kay. I didn't know you were friends with this pervert. I'm trying my best not to be friends with him. Oh no, now Irie's here too? What is it? The guy tumbled in and landed on his feet elegantly. It was Coach. How dare you? How dare you, Maybara? Coach glared at me in anger. He was breathing hard with a scary expression on his face. What do you mean? What did I do? Oh, disgusting. I hate Satoko. At that moment of his scream, 3 different metal buckets fell on his head one after another, and a Chinese walk finished the job. Well, I was prepared for this moment when my punishment was chosen. To see Satoko in a maid costume is like a matter of life and death to you. I love Satoko's costume. It's so cute. I'm taking her home with me. I won't let you do that. I'm gonna take her home with me, or my name is not Kyosuke Irie. No. If you try to sabotage my chance to take her home with me, you get these. I am literally going deaf. I have turned my sound down like 3 times and it just gets louder. Once Rena goes into cute mode, she becomes merciless. If a rock tried to sabotage her chance to take her favorites home with her, she'd break it into pieces. If it was a river, she'd fill it up with sand. And if it was the sea, she'd split it in half like Moses did and walk through it. What? Coach got up on his feet like a zombie. I couldn't believe he could still get up after getting hit by all of her super fast attacks. Huh, that doesn't work on me. Ah, ouch, ouch. No, that doesn't work either. I'll get up no matter how many times I get beaten, as long as there's a maid in front of me. Why? Because it's a dream of mankind. Oh, I forgot he had a fucking maid addiction. No matter what, I'm taking her home. You can take Satoko and Rika, I don't care. Irie was down on the floor, his body twitching. Rena just hit him with a barrage at point-blank range. Anyway, this really is a sight to behold. I'm so glad I won the game, but at the same time I'm scared to imagine how terrible it would have been if I'd lost. This is absurd. Well, I have to wear this for the punishment. I can't take it any longer. Satoko, your costume is a lot more decent than this old man's. You think wearing a maid costume is decent? You are completely messed up. Rena, stop drooling and sit here. It's the winner's right to be served by the losers, remember? How? I don't know which one I'm taking home with me today. How? Hey waitress, what's your recommendation today? What about this fruit parfait? The cream puff? I'm having a stroke. The cream puffs are very good too. You can get refills of water as many times as you want for free. Rena's nose was bleeding because she got to keep the waitresses in cute costumes all to herself. I should actually thank her for acting crazy like that because it made me look calmer than I really am. I was as excited as her, and my nose would bleed too if I wasn't careful. I now understand what a slack-jawed smile means. Hey waitress, can you feed me? Sure. Satoko, can you feed me too? And Mion, you massage my shoulders. Open your mouth. I hate this. Hey, I told you to open your mouth. Damn it. Why do I have to massage your shoulders? This old man's service is gonna cost you. Gulp. The audience gasped at the sight. I bet Angel Mort has never had an event as exciting as this one. Every table had 4 people squeezed in together, but only Rena and myself were at this table, and 3 waitresses in cute costumes were exclusively serving us. They were giving us shoulder massages and feeding us desserts, too. This had never happened before at Angel Mort, and it never will again. I see. They're waitresses. Then I'd like to have a glass of water. One of the customers wanted to get a piece of the wonderful treatment and patted Mion on the shoulder. Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not a waitress. Ask the wheel waitresses over there for a glass of water, okay? What? You're not a waitress? You can't serve me? That's right, we're not waitresses. We have no obligation to provide service to you. Satoko, me and I are here for the winners. Meep. It's not fair! All of a sudden, Kameda screams, starting to blame me. What do you mean it's not fair? It's not fair that Kei can do such wonderful club activities and I can't. Not fair. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Hold on, we took a certain risk to earn this right. So if this is fair, we don't think it's fair either. Tomita and Okamura were standing behind Kameda. First of all, you only won the game yesterday because we killed Mion for you. We felt sorry for you always having to suffer punishment, so we let you shoot us. You should appreciate our sacrifice. Oh, really? This is getting interesting. What do you think, Kei? What do you mean? What do you want me to do? Well, Kameda, Tomita, and Okamura, why don't you challenge Kei and Rena for the positions of the winners? What? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? They defeated many fighters and won a massive victory yesterday. I'm pretty sure a battle against these guys, oops, would be trivial, right? Kameda clapped his hands with glee. Tomita and Okamura nodded in agreement. They looked fired up already. Damn it, I have to fight against them here. Now that I think about it, the game was a tie. It'll be fun to have the finale here with a few extra fighters. If you lose the game, you join in on the punishment. Damn it, I hate it when you make it sound persuasive. What do you think, Rena? I'm fine with it because I'm gonna win. I'm taking them home with me. I wonder what kind of costume you'll have to wear. I'm taking all of you home with me. She sure is motivated. I could see Kameda was ready to fight for the ticket to paradise at Angel Mort. My 2 underclassmen were also eager to have a chance to fight against the members of the club for the first time. Kyosuke Irie reporting to volunteer for the game too, yeah. Well. Okay, let's start the game with these members. Rena and Kei, do you have any objections? I don't think you'd take an objection even if I had one. Well, you don't like to make the game... Wouldn't you like... Fuck! Well, don't you like to make the game interesting? Ha 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 ha. It's now or never if you want to change your mind, Tomita no Kimura. As you already know, you have to undergo the punishment if you lose. We know that. We're men too. We've always wanted to fight against you. They've seen the many horrifying punishments we've had to suffer, and they still had the courage to join in. I had to admit, they have potential. Kameda, the evil lord of Angelmort, sneered at the two. Never thought I'd have the chance to fight against you again, Kay. So this is weird, though. What timeline did we fought him in the Chapter 3 timeline. This is so weird. One second, I'm gonna write this down. Very odd. Oops. Didn't expect to fight you here at Angelmort either. I'm pretty sure you'll be an even tougher enemy to defeat here than in the baseball game. Coach Irie, the Count of Maids, laughed like he was afraid of nothing. Well, I'll show you how serious an adult can be. And today here at Angelmort, I'm gonna have a harem that is for me alone. I won't let any of you win. Alright, I'm ready. I can't keep complaining. Mion, what kind of game are we playing? Arm wrestles, let's go. That's the spirit. Make way, everybody. Waitress, please bring it over. In the kitchen, the real waitresses are standing by with many desserts on trays. It looks like the game is going to be either a speed eating or a competitive eating contest. Manager, are you sure we can do this? Yeah, go ahead and bring them the desserts. The more interesting, the better. I want this event to be as exciting as possible. The waitresses checked with their manager and started bringing in the desserts. Two of my underclassmen, Kameda, Coach, Rina, and I, sat at a table together. A horrific amount of desserts were brought before us. I wanted to enjoy watching the cute waitresses placing desserts on the table, but right now I was in a fighting mood. I had no time for that. The audience surrounding our table seemed to have grown excited, too. I bet it didn't even cross their minds that they would see a serious battle at Angelmort today. But they didn't care, as long as it was fun to watch. Listen up. This is a competitive eating contest. Whoever eats the most within the time limit wins. We already know how heavy each dessert is, so we will calculate the total weight of desserts you ate after the game is over, and whoever ate the most weight will win. When the words competitive eating came up, Kameda smiled evilly. Damn it, Kameda had the advantage. Mion, can you count the two of us as one person because we always fight together? Yeah, that's fine. Since you're always together, I'll permit it. Damn it, having two stomachs for a competitive eating contest was an absolute advantage too. What about you, Rina? I'm sure competitive eating contest is a bit of a hard game for a girl. No worries, if it means I can take these adorable girls home with me, I'd even swallow a table. I underestimated her. Rina can overcome physical impossibilities once she goes into cute mode. She might be able to eat food that's heavier than herself. Coach, what about you? Are you good at competitive eating? Maybara. As long as there's a maid in a condition that I need to meet in order to get her, nothing is impossible to me. I could see a black aura surrounding him, which I found very intimidating. The glint from his eyes that shone from behind his lenses was sharp enough to pierce an iron board. Damn it, he was in maid mode, which is equally as strong as Rina's cute mode. Shit, I was the only one without any advantages. Are you ready? Set. Go! Wasn't ready emotionally, but Mion started the game without hesitation. Damn it, there was no turning back. I had to do this. There were many kinds of desserts before us. Some were easy to eat and some were not. So I had to get the dessert that's the easiest to eat before anybody got it. What about the yogurt parfait? But of course, everybody seemed to be thinking the same thing. We do meet again. A white light flashed in front of our eyes and the parfait disappeared. My hands clashed with the others in midair. You're too slow. I got it first. Rina took the parfait. She was literally as fast as lightning. Damn it, I knew it. There was no way I can beat Rina in the opening move. Rina took the parfait like a frog catching a fly with its tongue and swallowed it in a single gulp. She did all that in seconds. She's usually gentle and calm. She's a totally different person right now. Really, it's terrifying. I see. I now understand why people say women always have room for dessert. Squad W. But in the special environment of Angelmort, Kameda wasn't far behind Rina. He grabbed a fruit parfait and swallowed it as if drinking beer from a mug. It looked very dynamic. Burp. Ha ha ha. Okay, you're wasting your time. You don't even have a 1% chance to defeat me in a battle at Angelmort. Honestly, my day is going okay, but I had an eye appointment today. My eyes are fucking killing me, and I kind of have a stomach ache, so we'll see. You don't even have a 1% chance to defeat me in a battle at Angelmort. Just watch me. Tomita and Okamura look at the extraordinary techniques Rina and Kameda are displaying, but they seem to be very calm. They knew their advantage. As long as they kept a steady pace, they could eat more and eat faster than anybody else because there are two of them. Rina and Kameda were eating very fast, but they might slow down in the middle, so this was going to be an unpredictable race. Son of a bitch, I won't lose this game. I shoved my dessert into my mouth and kept eating. Kept eating. I just kept eating. Ow, ow, ow. Damn, my mouth got extremely cold when I swallowed a ball of ice cream. How could the others do this so easily? There's an idea. I should melt it first, yeah, and just drink it. It's kind of fucking disgusting, but I could use some kind of heat to melt it first and then drink it down. Plus, it would also be easier for my stomach to take when it's not so cold. But how should I melt it? It would take too long to use body heat. I didn't have any other source of heat with me. Waitress, can I order something? I'd like to have hot coffee. Could you bring it to me in a big pot instead of a cup? Coach! Maybara, you're too slow. I also got the idea to melt it with heat. No, damn it. He was one step ahead of me. I could order hot coffee, too. But I'd still be one step behind him. I'd have to come up with something to melt my ice cream faster than hot coffee. Get a blowtorch. Calm down, Maybara Keiichi. Think. Think hard. Keiichi held his head, screamed that line, and bent his neck backwards. When he gets like this, he always speaks everything that's on his mind, and it's very fun to listen to. But I had to concentrate. I need to win this game. I was going to keep eating as much as I can and take all of the adorable girls home with me. I was about to say, we switched perspectives here. We're Rina now. Ahahaha. I was having so much fun. I was so thrilled that I felt like my heart was about to burst. I might have been acting totally uncute, but I didn't care. Exactly because I was having so much fun. Me always comes up with such extraordinary games. Satoko loves to play pranks. Rika's very sneaky, but it's impossible to hate her. Keiichi is always so funny. I enjoy every day. I wish I could express how much I really do enjoy them better than by saying how happy I am. Sometimes I feel anxious because I enjoy every day so much. There is as much misfortune and pain as there is happiness and pleasure in this world. And I know very well that they all come to you regardless of how hard you try. You'll have happy days regardless of how hard you try, and you'll have unhappy days regardless of how hard you try. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to try hard. Try hard. I can try to make my happy days even happier and last longer. In the same way, I can try to make my unhappy days happier and end faster. I struggle very hard to achieve that. That's why I'm going to enjoy the happy days I have now as much as I can. I must not take them for granted because they won't last forever. They won't. One day, all of a sudden, these happy days will come to an end. I know it. So I wonder if all those past tips in the previous games about weather were talking about Rina. In a few of them, they kind of hinted that it was Rika, but I'm not sure now. That's why I was trying to enjoy the happiness I received today so that I wouldn't regret it. Even if the world ended tomorrow. Then this is kind of what she was telling Keiichi. Oh god, what chapter was it? She was telling this to Keiichi, kind of the same sentiment. I noticed my hands stopped moving while I was thinking about these things. When spending time with my friends, I felt so happy that my heart might burst. I even love doing the punishments. They're fun for me. I have friends. I have a place where I fit in. I have time in which to be myself. I have a me that I love. I love everybody. I love me, Satoko, Rika, and Keiichi. I love everybody in my class and everybody in Okinomiya. Oh, Rina stopped eating. I guess she went too fast in the beginning. No, I'm not having a stroke. This text is pink, right? I'm not, like, having a brain bleed right now. Okamura, this is our chance. We can defeat Ryugu. All of you, you're just wasting your time. You think you can defeat me at Angelmort? You're too naive. Rina, come on. I'll never forgive you if you let Coach win. I'm not gonna let anybody win. I can even swallow the Pacific Ocean if you ask me to. What's wrong, Rina? Are you getting full? I guess you have to watch my come-from-behind victory now. Am I right, everyone? Yeah. Rina, what's wrong? I had left the table. Haha, excuse me. I have to go to the bathroom. I was just so happy. I didn't care who won or lost this match. Of course, it's more fun when I go crazy to try and win, but I could never be happier than this. If I could seal this happiness in a piece of crystal, I'd carry it around with me in my pocket. I'd use it as heat to ward off the cold on hard days that are certain to come to me. I know they will. You're not truly happy when you feel happiness. When you're bored with happy days and don't even realize that you're happy, that's when you've achieved true happiness. You only truly feel happiness when you're in a freezing cold environment. That's the only time your heart can feel the warmth of even a small happiness. On my way to the bathroom, I saw a waitress and a customer arguing at the register. The customer was a woman. The waitress was trying to explain that the lady needed a ticket to get a seat because the restaurant was holding an event today. But the lady, saying she didn't know, was still trying to get a seat. After a while, the store manager was called and started apologizing to the lady. Rena, it's the same thing. It's your fault. You should have put a note outside that said we needed a ticket to come in or something. So let me write this down. How do you expect me to know when there's no mention of it? The lady's eyes met mine. I guessed who it might be when I heard the voice, so I was prepared. Oh, Reina. It's one of her parents, it has to be. Because nobody calls her Reina. Oh, hello, what a coincidence. I held out my hand for a high five. She gave me one. Listen, Reina. They're so mean. They're saying that I can't get a seat because I don't have a ticket. It seems that way. Well, I can't do anything about it, can I? I can still buy some cakes to take home, yeah? Yes, of course. You can choose anything you want from our selection. The store manager gave her a fake smile and led her to the showcase. I like this cute one. I think you like simple ones like shortcakes. Hey, Reina, what would you like? What, me? Are you buying me one? You really like cakes, huh? So I'm guessing this is her mom. Or her sister or something. You can get whatever you like. Then I don't know. I'll take a shortcake as well. Really? There's so many other cute ones. Everything looks so good, but shortcakes look the best. Okay, give me 2 shortcakes and 1 petite trianon. I don't know how to say that. It's French for sure, but we're taking them home. She imitated the smile I usually made. I replied with the same big smile. Then I smelled the strong scent of her perfume and it made me sneeze. Oh, are you sick? Rena's? Rina? I mean, it's Rena. It's the same thing. It's just different. And Rena's perfume and I never seem to get along. New character. Oh. Okay. Well, folks, I hate to give you bad news, but I actually feel like fucking dog shit. And I kind of don't want to force myself to keep playing when I don't feel good because I won't enjoy this very much. That was a short fucking chapter, though. We'll read this tip, and I will make it up tomorrow with a long stream because I know it's been a long break since I've even streamed last, but... Rena, height 168, don't really care about her measurements. Hobbies, I'm interested in indoor gardening. I want to make tea with the herbs I grow. I always enjoy your funny and interesting stories. We should go out somewhere next time in private. Gentlemen's Club, Blue Mermaid. Oh no! This is the girl that was living with Tepe! This was her name. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a nap. Probably until dinner. Maybe I'll come back later. We'll see. Probably not, though. But this is the one that was with Tepe, because I remember her name. So I wonder if the Chapter 3 events haven't happened yet. I wonder if this is prior to the Chapter 3 events. Huh. Because I remember this name. I remember the last name, actually. I didn't notice the first name. I actually just want to read that last part. No, go back. I just want to read this. I didn't mean to click that. I just want to read this last part again. Fuck! I sped through too quick. Because it's only like 2 or 3 sentences. Oh, no, never mind. Private manager. Okay, well, this makes it interesting. Okay, well, I have a lot to think about. Okay, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm sorry. If I don't come back on, we'll have a very long stream tomorrow. Like, probably 10 plus hours to make up so that we can finish this in 3 streams. Because that's the goal, okay? Every chapter, the goal is to finish it within 3 streams. So we're gonna have to do a makeup in the next one. But I will see you around. I'm sorry for the short stream. Peace out. I'm gonna take a nap.